Reed's Real Reviews coming to you today to talk about Anakeesta in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area. This is a theme sort of park that's up on top of a mountain. You can see they have these gondolas or ski lifts here to take you up. It's something people might be afraid of. You might be afraid of heights. And if so, they do have another option for you. We'll show you that here in just a moment. You can see up ahead there's the red gondolas. Those are another option. Those are fully enclosed. The other thing that I would probably note about this ski lift is occasionally it's going to stop and it does swing a little bit. You can see here we've captured it on video. That is just the gondolas being loaded up. This is a view of the zip line, which is an additional charge to the park, but definitely something that's a lot of fun to do. Speaking of charges, the price as of March 2024 to enter the park was about $35. Children age 4 to 11 was $23. Seniors 60 plus, those are running about $28, and 3 and under are free. Here's that other option I was talking about where you can just take this truck and they load that and take you down off the mountain or take you up. So once you reach the top, you're going to have a lot of different options. You can see the map here. They kind of have it sectioned out into different villages. Shopping is one thing that you can do on Anakeesta. There's about, I think, 4 different stores that have tons of souvenirs, shirts and mugs and all the fun things that you might want to pick up to remember your Smoky Mountain trip. This here, the Adventure Outpost, is where you get set up to do the Dueling Ziplines, which we showed you as we were coming up the mountain. That is an additional charge. They also have these mountain coasters. They have 2 mountain coasters. I think those ran about $16 a person. So that's an option if you want to, get some adrenaline pumping. The other options that you have are all of these fun little, like almost obstacle course type things. They have different play areas, jumping pads. This is the newest area here called Bird Venture, and it's really set up a lot like what it would be a day in the life of a bird. So it's got all these little perches and things that you can climb over. There are slides that you can slide down. We'll give you a view there. They've got a fun little surprise inside. There is a newer area that's kind of being developed down there to the left. We do have some more shots of that coming up. There are, these fun little nest looking things, like if you were to nest up like a bird, but it's, you got to bounce in and out of those. These are just some colorful feathers that they had inside. Like I said, kind of like an obstacle course. These will spin out of the way and you can kind of maneuver around those. Tons of fun for the kids to get in there and run off some energy. This room here had a fun chandelier. It had a picture frame on the wall that would take a photo of you and your group, and then you can email it to yourself. So it created a fun little keepsake. These climbing areas and obstacle courses did not seem to have any sort of age restriction. So they definitely welcomed parents to get right in there, climb around, act like a kid, and hang out with your littles. This is the slide I was talking about. Check out the cool lights as you're going down this slide. This was the only one they had open at the time that we visited the park. They did have this area here that was under construction that had additional slides and fun things to do. You can see they kind of are creating what they're calling like a boulder climb, where the kids can go down the slide and then climb back up the boulders to get back up the top. Certainly a way for them to run off some energy. The next area we'll talk about is the Treetop skywalk. This is a long section of rope bridges that will take you literally from like the tallest, furthest back area of the park all the way up towards the front of the park. A lot of fun. The bridges kind of bounce around a little bit. One thing to note is if you leave your stroller at the top, you've got a hike to get back up to it when you finish the rope bridges. This here is probably the keystone of Anakeesta. It's like the symbol, right? It's this huge tower that you can see. You have to climb many sets of stairs to get up top. There did not seem to be an elevator option, so be mindful of that. But once you get up top, the views are spectacular. It is a 360-degree view of the Great Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg. The little posts there tell you what direction you're looking off, and there's some signs that kind of tell you, what you might be seeing off in the distance. Here's a beautiful nighttime view of that spectacular tower. So let's move on to food, right? We've had all this fun. Let's get something in our bellies. So they have dining options all the way from, quick grab and go kind of food, then all the way up to like a sit down, nice restaurant. The Tap House was where we made one of our first stops. We grabbed a beverage. You can see the price list here. And then we sat down on this little bar here overlooking the mountains. And I will note, this was a very hazy day due to some wildfires that were out in North Carolina. The views are typically a lot clearer than that. But even still, look at this gorgeous view where you can just sit back, have a beverage, and relax. This is one of the restaurants we've eaten at before. You grab a quick pizza and a drink, sit down, do a quick meal if that's your style. But they also have here the smokehouse, which has like your barbecue and things like that. Then the Cliff Top is the restaurant that you really probably want to try to get your name put in there. I believe there was a 45-minute wait when we tried to go in and eat at this restaurant. Mimi's Creamery is a great place to grab some dessert once you've had that meal. They have a ton of beautiful landscaping here with all of these waterfalls. The sound is really soothing without that running water going. We visited in the March timeframe, so none of this was really, populated with the leaves and the pretty flowers. But you can envision what it would be like once the springtime fully kicks in and everything starts to grow. Or even further, imagine what it would look like in the fall. They have a couple fireplaces here you can nestle up around if it gets cold. And then this place really comes to life at dark. Once the sun starts to set, these lights come on everywhere throughout the park, and it really does call for some stunning scenery. Here are views over to the left there of that bird venture that we talked about a little earlier, all the way around to Vista Gardens. Everything's so colorful and vibrant. It really does take your breath away. So our favorite part of Anakeesta is this new section called Astra Lumina. This is a nighttime walking experience that is in a loop. It may feel like you're walking down the mountain to exit, but you do loop back up and come back up to where you entered. This is an additional charge. I believe it was $16 per person. The experience should take about 45 minutes to an hour if you stop and really kind of watch all of the light shows from start to finish. They have signs that kind of tell you this specific light show is going to last 3 minutes. And so you kind of know if you want to watch the full thing that you can hang out for about 3 minutes. But these little sayings and walking into the Astra Lumina area was really breathtaking. It was a lot of fun to see. Moving into what you actually see in Astra Lumina, there are soundtracks or music that is being played to these light shows, and it's relatively loud. So it is like an all-encompassing experience with, the sound going and the lights moving to the beat, and, just a lot of, experience that you don't typically get in your normal day-to-day. This little area, it's a little out of focus, but they had these lights everywhere. There were thousands of these lights. It was a little disorienting at times because you couldn't even see where you were stepping. There was just all these lights floating around. The projector area here that we're looking at now, I believe this was the longest light show. It lasted about 5 minutes or so, and they did offer some seating there if you needed to sit down and take a load off your feet. And all in all, that's what it is like to be up at Anakeesta. You can see when you ride that ski lift down, you get to see the beautiful sights of Gatlinburg all lit up. If I think about pros and cons, nighttime, of course, was our favorite. You've heard me go on and on about it. They have a lot of food options, but there also didn't seem to be any restrictions if you wanted to bring in your own food and save a little bit of money. Some of the cons that I would say about Anakeesta is it's a lot of walking, so just be prepared for that. Wear some comfortable shoes and have that in your mind that you're going to walk a lot. It's sort of pricey, but you are in a huge tourist area right in the middle of everything, so that's sort of to be expected. So if there's anything that you have questions about, please drop those in the comments section. We'd be happy to answer those. Thank you for watching. If you found our video helpful, please like and subscribe. Until next time.